It's a brand new year, and you know what that means. Fresh starts, new goals. We have easy, budget-friendly recipes that are tasty, satisfying, and calorie conscious. Let's get started with a combination of protein, veggie, and carbs. First up, our rice. We're using brown rice here, so we're gonna rinse it off, get it clean, but we're also gonna get some of that starch off. Supposedly, this helps make your rice less sticky. I'm not sure if I buy it though. Double the water to help ensure that the rice is less sticky. We'll have to see how it works, or if it works. Now that our rice is cooking, let's grab our ingredients for the salsa. Corn, rinsed black beans, fire roasted tomatoes. Now I don't like chunky tomatoes, so I'm gonna dice these up a little bit smaller. You can find petite canned tomatoes or use fresh ones if you choose, but I wanted the fire roasted ones. I like the flavor. Next up, we're gonna finely dice this purple onion. I normally don't care for raw onions, trust me. Even if you're not a big fan like me, these tiny bits are amazing flavor. Just dice them super small like this. Don't forget a jalapeno or a jalapeno. Dice it up for a little kick and some color. If you're bold, go for 2, but you know my relationship with hot stuff. Spice wimp. And of course, a squeeze of lime juice for that zesty freshness. A third a cup of finely chopped cilantro, a sprinkle of salt, and a dash of pepper, and there you go. It's already looking so fresh and so fantastic, isn't it? This salsa is fresh, fun, and best of all, a half a cup is only 73 calories. I'll share all the calories as we go along. Now for the star of the show, our skirt steak. We're marinating it in a zesty lime concoction, and guess what's the secret ingredient? Well, I'll get to that in a sec. I'm going for a half a cup of lime juice, or about 3 limes. We like a lot of lime, so juice it good. A third a cup of oil, 3 cloves of fresh minced garlic, not bulbs, just the cloves. 3 teaspoons of adobo seasoning, a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of cumin, a teaspoon of smoked paprika, 2 teaspoons of chili powder, and for that secret ingredient, a teaspoon of mayo. Yes, I said mayo. I read a few sources like New York Times, Food 52, and a few other sources that this helps adhere the marinade to the meat. Just from our test, I think there is some truth there. Now let's talk about the additional calories from the marinade. The general consensus is 25 to 30% of the marinade is actually absorbed into the meat. This is where it gets hard to measure, but I'm going to give you Alicia's best guesstimate. Let's trim off that silver skin. It's that connective tissue on the back that makes it a tougher meat when you're cooking it. This does take a little longer, so if you go to a meat market and get one seasoned and pre-trimmed already, I won't be mad at you. But you are going to pay for it, and it's about double. We have a Mexican meat market that sells some of the best fajitas I've ever cooked at home. Now that's all cleaned up. I have this tenderizer. It pushes little holes in the steak, breaking up the meat and allowing that seasoning really to soak in. So it's like a stapler for your steak. The steak stapler should be a staple. Throw it in our marinade. This is about 1.5 pounds of meat here. Let's check our rice. It has finished cooking, so strain off the excess liquid and return it back to the pot. Then place the pot back in the rice cooker for about 10 more minutes with the lid on to finish steaming. Cooking show magic time. We made this one yesterday, so it's been soaking about 24 hours. You want to at least let it sit for 2 hours. We tried it this way, and while it was flavored, it really didn't make it any more tender. In a hot cast iron skillet, we're gonna sear our steak for that perfect crust. Here's another tip, flip it often. It keeps all those juices locked in. I'm gonna use this burger press, but not press down on it. I just wanna make sure we have complete contact with the skillet. Cook it to your level of doneness. Is that a word? And cut it into bite-sized pieces. Remember to slice across the grain. Here's the grain. Now cut across. Time to finish off our rice. I think it may be a little less sticky, but I still haven't mastered that non-sticky rice yet, so work in progress. 1 lime juiced. If you don't like lime, this may not be the meal for you. There's a lot of lime in every part of this meal. 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of granulated garlic, mix and pour it over the rice. Now chop our cilantro up. We're aiming for about 1/3 cup to 1/2 cup. If you really like cilantro, go for that half. If not, use the 1/3. And then stir it all in. Remember, the full recipe is available at AuntieAlicia'sKitchen.com and at the end of the video. Now the best part, starting with 1 cup of fluffy cilantro lime rice, a half a cup of our black bean corn salsa, and 3 ounces of our marinated steak. In case you don't have a scale, it's about half a cup, and it'll look like this. And this is totally optional, but highly suggested, Monterey Jack cheese. About 25 grams or 1/4 a cup, loosely packed just like this. Look at this beauty. Insert drool emoji. A delicious Chipotle meal prep bowl that's kind on your wallet and your waistline, but looks are only part of the story. Let's dig in. I love the lime, I love the cilantro, the flavor is great. It's hearty, it's delicious. It feels fresh from that black bean corn salsa. So good. This meal works great for meal planning, prepping your meals. I've got 5 meals here. They taste good. They're packaged. I can just grab and go. They reheat really easily. Here's to a year of eating better and saving more. Join me next week as we continue our journey to a healthier, happier you. And me. Thanks for joining me in the kitchen today, where we turn simple ingredients into a masterpiece. Be sure to subscribe for more delicious recipes. Until next time, happy cooking.